you are doing good job for us, and at least this is an encouragement of which now we'll be looking forward to be attending all the activities that you will be, maybe the trainings that you will be organizing for us. It's a good thing, and I appreciate, and I've learned a lot, of which I'm still preparing myself to learn from Wangari, which she's well, she's actually, the points she's giving us are very clear and very understandable. So thank you guys for keeping us in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wangari. You're appreciated.
Thank you so much, Wasike. I appreciate.
Wasike, you said Muhasibu. What
Yes,
housing again?
Muhasibu is the company that I work in here.
Okay.
Yes.
You offer housing solutions or financing, or what is that?
Actually, it's a housing solution.
What kind of solution?
We sell lands.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that feedback. I think a good number have joined, and we wouldn't want to waste a lot of time today because we are on the last bit and there's quite a lot to cover.
Yes.
We will be closing, I think, Wangari, we should be closing at 7:30, 2 hours, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, so that means we will be running with the time. But before we start, I'm just dropping, for the sake of those who want to keep in touch and know what we are doing together with our partners in terms of these free trainings or even other initiatives we have. I'm just putting a link of our account on the chat so you can be able to follow so that you always know when we are doing these things before we start. So before we start, you're free to actually take a second and follow that page if at all you appreciate what we have been doing the last few days. And also, this is not the first training we are doing. We've done this a couple of times with ICTA, and of course, if you check our pages, you'll see even with many of our other partners.
Dudi.
Yes.
Do you offer other trainings that are, maybe if it's other paid trainings, or they're only free trainings that you normally offer with your partner ICT authority?
We offer full pay trainings, which are paid for.
Yes.
But these free ones are usually short. You see, like what we've covered the last few days. Yes, we've covered quite a lot, but we've not covered 100% because we only have like 2 hours a day. So typically we have 4 major programs that we offer at DataBuild Africa. And of course, ICT Authority also is working on upskilling, at least 20 million. They have a very ambitious goal of 20 million people, I think, over a period of like 5 years. So this is one of the ways in which we support them to be able to meet that goal. But yes, these are short programs, which I don't think you can go to a company tomorrow and tell them, especially if this is your first program in data, and tell them that, I'm now a full data analyst.
Yes.
Yes, as much as we appreciate, we definitely have covered quite a lot, but the truth is you need more time to be able to be trained and, to be skilled in a lot of areas. So that's why we have longer programs. Our data science analytics program runs for 6 months. And at a cost of 40,000 Kenya shillings only, with payment plans available. And we also have AI programs that run there's one for 5 weeks, there's another one for 3 months. We also have cybersecurity and ethical hacking, which also runs for 6 months. So if somebody wants to become a cybersecurity professional, a certified one, then that program is for them. That one goes for 52,000 with payment plans available. We also have data engineering, also for 6 months at a cost of 40,000. So there's that, and we can direct all of us to the website and even to our page, which I've shared on the link on the chat box. Just take a second before we kick off the class. Just take a second to follow the page so that you get updated. You will also get your time also to follow page ICTA, ICT Authority, for you to stay updated from both of us.
Now, a question.
Yes.
When you partner with the ICT Authority and you do trainings for us, and then the certificates come under ICT Authority or under your company?
The certificate is co-branded, so it is processed through ICT Authority. So you'll get an email notification where you'll be able to generate the certificate with the name that you registered with.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it will have
First.
ICT Authority and DataBreed Africa both on the certificate. Somebody speaking?
Yeah, Levix, this is John again.
All right, go ahead.
Just to answer what has been asked.
Yeah.
DataBreed as our partner will be on the certificate. The issuing authority is ICT Authority, but for us to issue you the certificate, you must sit for an assessment just for us to verify that indeed you are not just a passive participant in the training. And then the certificate is co-branded ICT Authority and DataBreed Africa as our partner.
Yeah. Thank you for that addition, John. So just as you said, we have that value. We have to ensure that you also get something. So you have to verify that you actually got something in terms of skilling. That's why you have to do that test.
So the test will come after the training.
Yes, it will be provided within, I think, 7 days, but even within a day or two, you can get it. But typically within 7 days, you should get the link on your email.
So we do it online?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Anthony Oniela? Yeah, that's okay, Nani. The gentleman was speaking.
Hello, thank you for your responses. I wanted to ask that at the end of yesterday's training, there was some communication that some data sets as well as an email sending data set were to be shared for purposes of practice.
Yes. I think it is yet to be sent. Yeah. That is going to be sent soon after the class, hopefully in the evening.
Okay.
So that you have. Yeah, we will share that, the material that is the slides together with the data sets and everything else, including the slides and even the recordings. All that will be shared.
Okay, thank you.
Those who have been in the programs before, we normally share that. We'll share it in time. Anybody else with anything burning before we kick off? Yes, so I'm hoping before you go in, I've already dropped in our link on the chat box. Ensure you follow the page if you can. And also let us not spam the chat box with information which is not associated to this training or associated to DataBreed Africa and associated to ICT Authority, just to ensure that we operate within what we are supposed to do. All right, somebody was speaking quickly.
Yes, okay. Mine is a concern.
Yes.
Okay, I happen to have been in other programs conducted earlier.
Okay.
The certificates issued, when I try to verify, they appear to expire after some time, maybe after a year or two. What does that one mean?
What that means is technology is evolving every single day. Even as DataBreed Africa, what we are teaching you today, what we were teaching in our data analytics program 2 years ago is not necessarily what we are teaching today. We must grow with technology. So that means that even you as a graduate, you must also update your knowledge and ensure that you emerge also as technology emerges, you also emerge in terms of your skilling and adaptability. That is why some certificates are actually expiring over a period of time. So like this one, I think is valid for a year. After a year, these programs are usually there. You can come and refresh your knowledge. Well, that's understood.
So you do it online still?
Yeah, we do it online, yes. So we have hybrid. From the main group, yes, there's you can sign up for physical class or a online class or even hybrid. So if you're available, you come. If you're not, you join online. But as DataBreed Africa, our own certificates are not expiring. They don't expire. But the one we do with ICT Authority, which we understand based on the agreement, it is after a year you need to renew it. Am I right, John? John is not around. Yeah, so I think there's nothing else pressing, but I've dropped just before Wangari comes in, just click onto that link I've shared on the chat box. you can be able to follow our page. You'll be able to know when we have such programs. This is not the only one we have. We have a lot. Even next week, we'll be having a training on cybersecurity and ethical hacking.
But
so
also,
those that are, just give me a second.
Just remember to share us with the contacts that we can reach you guys, at least so that we can maybe arrange outside this meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
I've already
John.
shared. Go ahead.
John, I have a question.
Yeah, I'm Levix.
If you can tell us, okay, if you can tell us more about the data science, what exactly do you train and which tools? Like, is it Python, Power BI, SPSS, all those? Is it SQL or what exactly for data science?
So data science is broad, but what it covers, what the course covers is from Excel, the spreadsheet. Then we have SQL to enable you work with the databases.
Okay.
Then we have Power BI, that is the business intelligence tool. It's an alternative of Tableau. So we have Power BI. Then we have Python, which is also another very dynamic programming tool, which Wangari will cover here. On top of that, we've got machine learning as part of the program. On top of those 5, we have AI, which we've integrated into the program. On top of that, we also have soft skills that we've added into our program. So soft skills basically is the other side. So you're technically fit, you know Python, you know Excel, you know SQL, you know Power BI, you know Tableau and the rest. But you also need skills that can enable you to work with people well, can enable you to position yourself well as a professional. That is why we have that as a unit also. So it's a broad one. We can be able to even share more after the session. I've shared with you my number. Yes.
So your son is taking 6 months, at a cost of 40.
Yes.
Okay, so if you do that one, will you be able to work as an data analyst?
Yes. What matters? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Just to go ahead. You're saying what matters is?
What matters today is the skills.
Knowledge or skills.
Yeah, knowledge and skills. So if you have the skills, you can work anywhere. Of course, if you have the skills plus the certificate, then you are able to showcase to people that, yes, I got trained on ABCD at whichever institution of your choice. So the skill is what is important. I think today the tech world is about skills. And even if you look at the trends, because for us as a company, we've been able to verify and see, a lot of companies are now looking at the skills. Your certificates, yes, they're important to showcase, but at the end of the day, your skills matters. So you can imagine a case where, you have to work technically. So they'll subject you to some technical trainings. They'll subject you to some, not trainings, but, assessment to be able to showcase that you can actually do 1 to 3. But the certificates, today, everybody has certificates. So it really doesn't matter. What matters is your skill, but certificate is also important, of course. So I've dropped our details on the chat box. You can be able, let me just add here. Anything else before we let in Wangari quickly? Because today we have very little time.
Okay, thank you.
600. Karibu sana. So those who've requested, I've shared my number and my email on the chat box. You can email me. If you want to join a program, you're able to reach out. If you want us to partner for whatever it is, you can reach out to discuss. And yes, you can also visit our website, databridgeafrica.com for more information. You can also visit ICTA, ICTA's website for more information. Wangari, I think I can let you in now.
Thank you, Levix. Thank you for that. And in case, of course, after the session, you're going to, in case you have another question, you can always ask. Today we're going to continue from where we left yesterday, which was we started on the Excel tools. sorry, the data analytics tools. Something confused me. Let me sort something out in a short while. Just give me a minute, I'll be back.
All right, that's fine. As we give a minute, somebody's still asking, will we share the notes? Yes, we'll share the notes. We already have them put together, so we'll just send you the link immediately after the class through John and ICT Authority team. Please elaborate on your accreditation. Yes, we are a registered company, definitely. We are accredited, and yes, we are certified to be able to offer trainings. That's why we are here. Anthony Onyala asked a question like that. Wangari, if you're back, you just continue. If not, I'll answer the questions that are in here. Can we have the Q&A after? Yes, we'll have the Q&A after. Wangari, you're back? If you're back, you can proceed.
Yes.
All right, proceed.
Thank you. So as I was saying, yesterday we did Excel, which is part of the data analytics tools. And today we're going to cover Python, just a brief overview of what Python is and how it is used in analytics. Then we're also going to look at SQL for analytics, then proceed to Power BI. So I'm going to rush through a little bit on Python and SQL, but for Power BI, we're going to look at it in depth, yeah? So overview of Python for analytics. So where do we apply Python and how is it applied for analytics? Most of us, maybe for those people that are in IT, they usually use Python for programming. Yeah, maybe they want to model some systems and something of the sort. That is where Python comes in. And someone would wonder, can you use Python for analytics? Yes, you can. And there's a question that was asked, which tools are used in data science? For our case, we usually use Python for data science when it comes to data science. Yeah. So Python is one of the most widely used programming languages in the data analytics world. So you realize Excel is a tool. Python is a tool as well, but it is a programming language. That is to mean you have to code while using Python. And it is powerful, easy to learn. You're going to see that. Or with the overview that I'm going to give, you'll just see that, or rather you're going to tell that for sure, Python is, it's easy to learn, yeah? And supported by a large ecosystem of libraries that simplify data cleaning, analysis, visualization, and automation. So why is Python used for analytics, or when do you apply Python for analytics? Why? So one, it can be used to load and explore large data sets. Yeah. So Excel, in as much as Excel can be used with large data sets.
Could we kindly mute our mics so that we allow the presenter to train well? Kindly let us all mute our mics unless you're speaking. Wangari, I'll mute everyone. You can be able to.
So Python is used when you're loading and exploring large data sets. Number two, when you want to clean and transform data quickly. Number three, when you want to combine multiple data sets. Number four, when you want to create charts and visualizations. Number five, when you want to build automated workflows. Okay, then you can also apply it when you're dealing with machine learning models. Yeah. So the difference between Python and Excel in as much as in Excel you can use it when you're dealing with large data sets, it has some limitation of the size of data set that you can work with. But for Python, there is no limitation when it comes to the size of your data set. Yeah. And now I'd say the biggest difference or the most significant difference between Excel, other tools, and Python is that Python can be used when you want to automate your workflows. If you want to build a system and that system is, you want to automate it, you can work with Python, or rather, Python provides such functionalities. So for you to be able to use Python, we have a platform for using Python. You see, like the way Excel, we use the Excel. I mean, when you're dealing with spreadsheets, you usually use Excel or Google Sheets. Now for Python, we have the different development environments or the platforms that are used for Python. These are usually called integrated development environments, that is IDEs, or code editors. So an IDE provides tools such as text editor, where you write your code, terminal, debugger, and package manager all in one place. So that is to mean it provides a platform where you can write your code. In case you want to correct your code, you have that functionality. In case you want to run your code, you have that functionality, yeah, on that platform. So, and the most commonly used IDEs for Python in analytics are, we have Jupyter Notebook. I had mentioned this, Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab. This one is a browser-based environment for writing Python in small testable blocks called cells. Yeah. And why is it used, this Jupyter Notebook? It is perfect for step-by-step data analysis. That is to mean with the cells, you're able to follow through your data, or not your data really, but your data analysis process. Number two, you're able to, it shows tables and charts in line. That is to mean once you run one cell, you can be able to, you can be able to see the results just below that particular cell. Then number three, it is great for experimenting and learning, and it is commonly used in training, research, and data exploration. So where is it used? In data cleaning, when you're doing your EDA, exploratory data analysis, when you're plotting, and when you're doing machine learning projects. That is Jupyter Notebook. Then we have Google Colab. This one is a free cloud-based version of Jupyter Notebook provided by Google. So this one is cloud-based, and it's a it's a version of it's an online version of Jupyter Notebook. And why is it popular? You don't need to install it. It runs on the cloud. That is to mean you can do it on your phone or your tablet or on your machine, as long as you're online and you can access Google Chrome. Yeah. If you want to, to share your files, your notebooks, you can easily share those files. And then it has free GPU for machine learning work. Use cases in training sessions, student projects, quick demos, and collaborative analytics. Then we have the VS Code, or the Visual Studio Code. This one is a lightweight, powerful code editor used by both beginners and professionals. So those programmers, most of them usually use the VS Code. Yeah, but it's not as complicated. So that is to mean even for the beginners, you can use VS Code, because there are those institutions which which work with VS Code, and you have to work with that and not any other IDE. Yeah. So why is it preferred? It is very fast. Number 2, extensions for Python, Jupyter, and Git, etc. Depending on how you want your file to be, to be saved, we have those extensions. You can, from VS Code, you can have a Python file, you can have a Jupyter file, which is usually known as notebook, and you can have a Git file. Then it is good for both scripting and automation, and it can run Jupyter Notebook. You can run Jupyter Notebooks inside VS Code. Yeah. Where is it used? In automation scripts, in Python projects, when you want to connect to databases, and when you want to when you're dealing with databases and maybe the ETL pipelines, when you want to create those ETL pipelines, so you can as well use the VS Code. Then we have PyCharm. This one is a professional IDE designed specifically for Python. And this one is also, it's usually used in corporate analytics teams, data engineering, production level, Python applications, and so on and so forth. So PyCharm is a bit professional, yeah, compared to the rest. So PyCharm, we have, for those that are maybe for beginners, you can use PyCharm Community, but if you're in a working environment, you can use PyCharm Professional. Yeah. Then we have Spider. Spider, this one is a scientific programming IDE similar to RStudio. RStudio is a platform that is used to run R programming language. Yeah. And why is it used? It has a variable explorer, like SPSS and Stata for those that are in statistics. It is good for statistical analysis, and it is recommended for beginners who like the, GUI feel, yeah, the user interface feel. So those are the IDEs that are used in Python. And if you're a beginner, which IDE is the most recommended one, you can work with Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook, because it is usually simple, interactive, and perfect for pandas. Yeah. So maybe I can show you I'm going to show you the Google Colab and also Jupyter Notebook and how it works. So we've said Google Colab is cloud-based, and you can find it on Google. So what you just do is Google Colab, then can just, so welcome to Colab. As long as you're logged in, or your Google account is active, you can just log in. Yeah. So so you select new notebook. And now this is the look. This is how it looks. So you realize we have some cells. So we have, this is where you write your code. And in case you want to add another cell, you just select that. So it's going to add another cell. If you want to add, a cell below or, on top, you can, you can just do that. There is that provision. And
Excuse
then,
me, Wangari.
yes.
It's very minimal. Would you mind maximizing your presentation, because it's very small, even we cannot see.
You cannot see?
I cannot see. Maybe perhaps others can see. Me, I cannot.
Okay. How about the rest? Yeah. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yeah, I can see it.
No.
Yeah, myself I can see.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
see.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay on my side now. I think now it's okay. I can see now.
All right, sorry about that. So we have the cells where you write your code, yeah. And in case you want to add, you can do that. Then we have text cells. So text cells, they're usually, you don't write the codes. I mean, you don't write your codes on a text cell unless you want to comment, or maybe you want to give, an explanation of the text below or the text above. Yeah, that is when you use the text cell. So this is where you write maybe a comment or something. So say importing libraries. So you can use that to maybe, if you want to just explain the code below or the code above. Yeah, that is a text cell. So once you write your code, what do? You run. You run your code. So we have this, this is where you run your code from. Yeah. Under that we have a number of commands. If you want to restart the entire session, say you are doing a project and maybe you ran all the codes or all the cells, and maybe you want to now restart the session, you just select that. We also have an option of restarting the session and running all the cells. So for restart the session, it's just going to do away with the results that you had previously. Yeah, so it's going to refresh and not run the codes. Then you have the option of restart the session and run all the cells. So it's going to run all the cells. Then we have an option of run focus cells and all cells below. That is to mean probably the code you're on or the cell that you're currently in, you can run out particular code and maybe those that are below. So that is all. And in case you want to clear all the results or all the outputs, you have that option as well. Yeah. So for the file, this is where we have a number of functionalities there. Do you want to open a new notebook? Do you want to upload a notebook? Do you want to rename it? How do you want it to be saved? And you realize, for those people that maybe are familiar with GitHub, GitHub is a portfolio where you can be storing your projects, and then they're going to be visible to other people. They're going to show, with GitHub, you're able to display the projects that you've done before. So with Collab, it directly connects to your GitHub account. So that is to mean you can just do what? Do your coding from Collab, then you push it to GitHub. It's going to be pushed automatically as long as you select that option. So you want to edit, you want to view, what do you want to insert? Maybe a code cell, a text cell, a section header cell, you have those options. So this is Google Colab. Okay, now I'm going to show you Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is also an IDE that is used for Python. And for you to be able to access Jupyter Notebook, we usually have a platform that is known as Anaconda Navigator. So from Anaconda Navigator, Anaconda Navigator usually holds a number of platforms that can be used for programming. Yeah, so that is to mean for you to be able to for you to be able to work on a Jupyter Notebook, then you have to install Anaconda Navigator. Okay, Anaconda Navigator. You have to install that. Then once you install the Anaconda Navigator, it's going to show you all, not all per se, but a number of applications that you can run using the Anaconda Navigator. We have DataSpell, we have CMD, we have Jupyter Lab, we have Jupyter Notebook, we have PowerShell, we have PyCharm Professional. So that is to mean with this Anaconda Navigator, if you're maybe dealing with, if you're writing your codes on PyCharm, you don't have to install PyCharm separately. Okay, so Anaconda Navigator saves you a lot of, installing a lot of applications. Yeah. Then what you do once you download Anaconda Navigator. We have quite a number of platforms, the VS Code, Datalore, we have Deep Notes, we have IBM, Oracle, we have RStudio, but then you have to install that. Of course, you have to install for you to be able to launch it. Okay? Now, back to Jupyter Notebook. This is my Jupyter Notebook. So I have the option of Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook. So for it to be active, or for me to be able to operate on Jupyter Notebook, I'm supposed to launch it. It's going to be launched on my browser. Depending on the browser that you're using, it's going to be launched there. Okay, so I select that. It's going to take a few seconds. Then it should take me direct to my browser. Okay. So it has taken me to Google Chrome. Yeah, that is my browser. Then it's going to show you, so now it's going to take you to something like this, where you're supposed to now select. You're now supposed to select the documents. If in case you had a notebook that was already there and you want to continue working on it, then you can select that notebook. But in case you want to start on a fresh notebook, you just come here. So we have upload, we have new. So you select new, and of course select it's under Python and Python 3 version. Yeah, so create a new notebook with Python 3. So select that, then it's going to open a new notebook. Yeah, I don't know why it's taking a lot of time to open, but it's supposed to open a new notebook. Yeah, but in case you have... Kindly mute. There's someone who is...
We can't hear you, Madam Wangari.
Hey, Wangari, you seem to have
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, so thank you.
Okay. So now this one, once it opens, it's going to take you to something like this. Now this is the Jupyter Notebook, and you realize it's similar to Google Colab. So this is where you write your codes. Yeah. So the difference between this and Google Colab, it's that files that are saved on Jupyter Notebook, they are of course going to be saved on your memory. Yeah, unlike what? Unlike Google Colab, it's cloud-based, so you might want to save your data, or you might need to save your notebooks on your Google Drive for you to be able to access. Yeah, so maybe something that I would want to show you. So this is a code cell. And if you want to, maybe on that other side, we had a text cell. So for Jupyter Notebook, we have quite a number of cells. So if you want to write down an explanation, so you usually convert your code cell to a markdown. So for a markdown, this is where you write your comments, and it doesn't have limitations, unlike a code cell where it has limitations, because anything that is written on a code cell is usually taken as a script, a Python script. Yeah. So that is to mean if you run that particular notebook, even that which is not supposed to be, a Python script, it's going to be translated as a Python script. And that is why it is important for you to do what? To specify that this one is a markdown, I want to write my explanation here. So if you want to have a heading of your, of your Jupyter notebook, you can select that. These two can be used for explanation, writing down your explanations. Yeah, I hope that is clear. So this one is a Jupyter notebook. Now, we go back here. So those are the IDEs that are usually used, and we have quite a number. And of course, for VS Code, they have different user interface, because for VS Code, it looks like there is some more of programming that is going on. Yeah, unlike Jupyter Notebook and Google Colab. Yeah. Now we have, I don't know if you can recall, when we were talking about the different data types. I don't know if you can recall that. And I said each tool has its own unique data types. Yeah. So we have different types of data in Python. And these ones that I have mentioned here, they're the most important ones when it comes to data analysis. So we have integers. Integers are whole numbers. Then we have floats. These ones are numbers with decimals. If you can recall, when you were talking about the main categorizations of data in, not in Excel per se, but in data analysis, we talked about quantitative type of data. Under that, we had two categories. We had discrete numbers. If you can recall, those ones are the whole numbers. But in our case here, when you're dealing with Python, discrete numbers or whole numbers are known as integers. Numbers with decimals. Under data analytics, in general, they are known as continuous data, continuous numbers or something. But in Python, they're usually known as float. Okay? When you're dealing with text type of data, in Python, it's known as string. When you're dealing with Boolean are those, when you have a true or false type of data, that is called Boolean. Then we have lists. In Python, we have lists. You could have a list of numbers or a list of items. This one is a collection of items, and they are usually enclosed in square brackets. They are usually enclosed in square brackets. Okay. Then we have others that are known as tuples. The difference is how they are structured. Lists are usually inside square brackets, while tuples are usually inside the normal brackets. Okay, the normal brackets. Then we have a dictionary. Dictionary is data stored in key value pairs. In short, a dictionary contains data that is stored in pairs. For example, we have name, James, age, 30, region, coast. Okay, so the pair here is we have name and we have James. So the name of this person is James. The age of this person is 30. Region, they come from coast. Now, dictionaries are usually enclosed in curly braces. This one's here. These are the curly braces. Okay, I hope that is clear. So these are the different data types in Python, but these ones are the major ones. We have quite a number, but these ones are the major ones. Yeah. Now, what do you need to know in Python? In Python, we have variables. So variables, this one is used to store information, or it is created the moment you first assign a value to it. Okay, that is a variable. As simple as, maybe I can show you in Python, something like y equal to 7. So the y there, because it is assigned to a certain value, is regarded, or rather it's referred to as a variable. I hope that is clear. So we have very many variables. I mean, variables, in Python, variables are very important. You just need to know what is a variable. Yeah. Then we have operators, and these ones are used to perform operations on variables and values. So we have different operations, arithmetic operations. We have arithmetic operations. They are those that are used for normal calculations, plus, minus, plus, minus, product, division. Those are arithmetic operators. Then we have assignment operators. Assignment operator, we only have one, which is, in Python, we have one, which is equal to, like what I've just done here. This is y, our variable, and the equal sign there, it doesn't mean that y is equivalent to 7. It means that we have assigned 7 to be y. That is an assignment operator. Okay. Then we have comments. So comments can be used to explain Python code. And in Python, we usually, in Python, when you're writing your comments, we usually start with a hashtag. Okay. We usually use a hash sign to mean that this one is a Python. I mean, so not a Python, but this one is a comment. So how do you do that? I'm going to come back here and say, now, for example, if I want to explain in this, yes? Yes, Levi?
Sorry for cutting you short, but I think your voice is breaking a bit. Is it your network or mine? You can probably switch it.
Okay.
It's breaking a bit.
He could be the one having a
It's
problem.
okay.
She's
She's okay.
She's okay.
I think
Also, it's
your
mine
network.
that's having a problem. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Check your connection.
Safaricom are misbehaving with me today.
Okay. So back to commenting in Python. In those cases that you don't need to, to maybe have an entire cell to explain a code, you can just explain that code in that particular cell. And how do you do it? You use a comment, or rather you write it as a comment. So you start with hash variables. And you realize they are written, once you include the hash, they're usually written in italics. Unlike if I don't include the hash there, then it's usually taken, or rather it's usually translated as a code. Okay, so in Python, you usually comment using hash. I hope that is clear. This is something that you're not supposed to forget. Yeah. Especially for people who are in data science, this is very important. It's basic, but very important. Then if you want to print out, or rather, if you want to get an output in Python, we usually use the print function. So this print function is used to display text or output values. Yeah, so maybe I can run this code, y equals to 7, but you realize we don't have any error. Yeah, so if we don't have any error, but then we cannot see any output. So if you want to get that output, what we do, you use print y. So when you select that, it gives you an output. So the print there is used to help you get an output, or rather to show an output. It does, I mean, when you run this is very okay. The first cell is very okay. But then if you want to see the output, whether it has been successful, whatever code you had written was successful, then you usually use the print function to give you the output. I hope that is clear. Yeah. Then we have in Python again, you're supposed to run your cells in order, especially when you're dealing with, or rather when you're using Colab or Jupyter Notebook, because each cell must be run before moving forward. So there is some, you have to do it sequentially. Yeah. So especially because for Google Colab and Jupyter Notebook, it is usually used when you're dealing with, when you're writing codes for a project. So you have to do it sequentially from loading your data down to maybe exploring your data, down to maybe visualizing. You cannot come from the first cell to the fifth cell. Yeah, it won't work. So it's important for you to run those cells in order. Those are the basics of Python, or the basics, the fundamentals of Python. Now, in Python, we usually use libraries, or we usually have libraries. If you can recall, when we were talking about Excel, we have different functions that are used for, or rather the functions that are used in Excel, or the formulas that are usually inbuilt, and they are quite a number. So in Python, those functions are usually stored in libraries. Okay? And a library in Python is a collection of ready-made code that you can use without having to write everything from scratch. You see the way we had functions in Excel, and these functions, you don't have to type them, like you don't have to write equal to, the entire formula. You can just use equal to text. Then you write, maybe you reference up the cell that you want to convert it to text. In Python, we have those libraries, and they contain those codes, ready-made codes. Instead of you writing the entire code, you just call in the library, then it gives you a function that can be used instead of writing the entire code. So libraries, they usually save time, reduce errors, and make it easier to perform complex tasks such as data analysis, visualization, automation, and machine learning. So why do they matter? Again, they help in saving time. Because if you were to write the entire code, then that would take you quite some time. Yeah. And the second thing, they're going to allow you to perform your task, your powerful tasks easily. It ensures consistency and accuracy. It enables automation, and it usually makes Python suitable for large scale analytics. Those are libraries. Yeah. In short, they contain the functions that are used in Python, or functions that are needed to be used in Python instead of you writing the entire code. So if you have maybe you're doing a task around visualization, instead of you writing the entire code, you just call in a certain library, which is usually known as matplotlib.pyplot. That one is used for visualization, or Seaborn. Then it's going to help you now select which chart do you want to to visualize. Then it's going to make your work easier. Those are libraries. And the common Python libraries are, we have pandas. Pandas is used for data manipulation. And you cannot proceed with a data analytics project in Python without using pandas. You have to interact with that data. You have to load in that data. You want to explore your data. And for you to be able to do all those things, you usually use pandas. Okay? Then we have NumPy. NumPy, this one provides support for fast numerical computations and mathematical operations. So you're dealing with numerical type of data, and you have to perform some mathematical and numerical computations, then you have to use NumPy. Okay? We have matplotlib. Matplotlib is the most commonly used library for creating visualizations, such as bar charts, line charts, and scatter plots. There are quite a number of charts, of course, but the library that is usually used for that is Matplotlib. Yeah. Then we have Seaborn. Seaborn is also a library that is used for visualization, but mostly when you're dealing with advanced visualizations. And it is built on the basic one, which is Matplotlib. Then we have scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is a library that contains functionalities for machine learning. So you want to get functionalities for maybe decision trees, for all those machine learning algorithms, you get them from scikit-learn. Okay, it provides tools for classification, regression, clustering, and model evaluation. We also have stats models. This library is used for statistical modeling, hypothesis testing, and econometrics. So if you're in the statistics field, for those that are in actuarial science, and you need to do some functionalities around modeling, statistical modeling, then you go for stats models. Then we have requests or beautiful soup. Now this one is used for in cases where you want to do some web scraping or you want to get your data from a certain website. Yeah, we usually use the requests or the beautiful soup library. Then we have the SQL alchemy. This one is used to connect Python with databases such as MySQL, PostgreSQL, and SQL Server. So if you want to integrate SQL and Python, you usually use the SQL alchemy library. Okay. I hope that is clear. Those are the libraries that are used in Python, the most commonly used, but they are very many. And of course, it depends on the kind of task that you're performing. So we're just going to look at one briefly, the pandas library, and we say this one is the most commonly used or the main library that is used for analytics. Why? Why is it the most important, quote unquote, the most important library in analytics? Because it helps you in when it comes to loading your data. Now, we have Python as a tool or as a platform, yeah, and you're supposed to load in your data because the data is not there. You have to load in. Unlike Excel, where you just open the data set and you're already in the Excel worksheet, for Python, you have to load in your data. Okay, that is the first thing. And for you to be able to load in your data, you usually use pandas. Number two, when it comes to cleaning and transforming your data, those functionalities are found in pandas. When you want to handle missing values, you can do it through pandas. When you want to filter, sort, group, and summarize your data, the functions are found in the pandas library. When you want to merge and join a number of data sets, you can do it through pandas. And if you want to prepare your data for visualization and machine learning, then you can do it with pandas. Or the functions are found in pandas. It is very easy to use and works perfectly with real world data sets. I'm going to show you an example, so don't worry, I'm going to show you an example. It also helps in handling large data sets faster than Excel. There are those times that you open an Excel file, and it tells you that Excel is not responding, maybe because your data is, quite massive. But with pandas, or rather when it comes to Python, you can use pandas and there will be no those unnecessary delays. Okay. And it also helps in reducing repetitive work through automation because you'll be able to automate the entire process. Yeah. And lastly, it integrates with visualization and machine learning libraries. Yeah. Now, I'm just going to show you how we read in data or how you load in. So there's a reading in, it's the same thing, and loading your data in Python. So how do you do that? First of all, in Python, before you proceed with any other thing, you have to import those libraries. And what is importing? You're calling in pandas for you to be able to use pandas, the functions in pandas. So you have to import that library into your working environment. That is the first step. Okay. Then once you do that, of course, you're going to run that. That cell. So you have importing your libraries. Then you list down the libraries that you need to import depending on the analysis that you're doing. Yeah. Then number 2, you now go to loading in your data. Remember the data. You just have it stored somewhere, so you need to load it in. And how do you do that? You use pandas. So we have different functionalities for under pandas. And now what you do, I just want you to read through, just go through this slide with me, just follow through, then we're going to do an example. I'll show you something that has been done. So you import pandas as PD. So that is to mean you won't use, okay. So first of all, you call in pandas into your working environment, but then it is not going to be used as pandas. You give it another name. Now, this one is an alias name. Also known as AKA PD. So that is to mean you're going to use it as PD. Why? Because every time you're calling a function, you have to reference pandas. And instead of just having pandas dot, you reduce it to PD dot that function. Okay. So import pandas as PD. I know this is quite heavy, especially for beginners, but just bear with us. And maybe this one should make you enroll, for our classes. Yeah. Anyway, step number 2. We load in the CSV file or the file, depending on how your file, the kind of file that you have. If you have a CSV file, if you have Excel file, if it's a text file, all those files, you can load them in. So this is the formula. So first of all, you give your data a name. Remember when you talked about variables? Yeah. So in this case, you give it a variable name like DF for data frame or something, or you can decide to give it the name of your choice like data equal to, because it is a CSV file, we do this. So we have this function for reading or loading data in Python. So we have read underscore CSV. That is to mean we are reading a CSV file. If it was an Excel file, it should be something like read underscore Excel. But then, where are we getting this function from? We are getting it from pandas. And that is why we have the PD dot, then the function. That is to mean we are referencing back to, our pandas. Then once you do that, once you write down this, then you can now come and give us the name of that file. Yeah, if you don't write, so this happens when your data has been stored in the same working environment as your IDE. If not, you have to, you just have to write you just have to copy the path file. Sorry, the file path. Yeah, you need to copy the file path. I hope that is clear. Then step number 3, so we have loaded in our data by the name sales data. We display the first rows. Yeah, so this is where we now get into EDA, exploring our data. We want to know how many, first of all, we want to know how many rows do we have in this, in our data set. Number 2, we want to get some information, some more, we just want to explore our data and familiarize ourselves with it. So if you need to get some more information about your data, we have the .info functionality. If you want to display the first 5 rows, you use the .head functionality. If you want to display the last 5 rows, you use the .tail functionality. Yeah. Then we continue with now summary statistics. This is where EDA comes in. If you want to do some summary statistics, we talked about that yesterday. That is summation, average, median, maximum, range, and so on and so forth. We usually use the .describe function. So I want you to realize something. The name of when we are loading in our data, we give it the name DF. So that is the name of our data set. Yeah. So whatever we do after, when familiarizing yourself with the data, like you want to understand, you want to display the first 5 rows of your data, you reference your data. So it's df.head. But now these formulas, the functions head, info, describe, shape, all those functions are found in the pandas library. Okay, I hope that is clear. So if you want to calculate, so we have the describe, the .describe function. It's going to generate the mean, the minimum number and maximum number, standard deviation, percentiles, counts. But then if you want maybe to calculate the mean of a certain or a particular column, you use the .mean function. If you want to calculate sum, you use the .sum function. Yeah. If you want to group by, you want to get maybe group sales by region, use the .group by function. Then you specify, I want to get their sum. If you want to count, you use the .value_counts function. I hope we are somewhere and you're able to follow through. So those are the functionalities that we have, and they are found in pandas. Yeah. Now, why is pandas a game changer? You're able to handle with pandas. It is fast compared to Excel. It is automated. You don't have to do it manually. If you want to merge data sets, you just write one line of a code and you're good to go. If you want to build summary tables, in Excel, usually use pivot tables, while in pandas, usually use the .group by function. When it comes to reproducibility, it is fully scriptable. Like you can just write, you can just write a code and it's going to give you a result that when it comes to Excel, it's going to be hard for you to, to perform such a task. Yeah. So that is why pandas is usually used. I hope that is clear. Yeah. Now, I just want to show you an example of a project. It has already been done. We might not, of course, we're not going to do it. Let me see. We can just do something here. I'm just going to show you how a data science project usually looks like. So we have a case study here, and we are trying to predict customer churn, the likelihood of a customer remaining or them leaving. Yeah. I'm not going to read through that, but I just want you to see how it usually looks like. So first thing first, you need to import the required libraries. That is the first thing. Yeah. And for this particular case, because it's an end-to-end project, so of course you need to know the specific libraries that you're going to use during your analysis. Then you can write them down. That is the first thing. You import the required libraries. Okay, that is the first thing. After that, you go to step number 2, you load in your data set. Yeah, and because I was dealing with a CSV file, I'm just going to get it from, because it's not in the same working environment as my IDE, then I had to use a file path. This here is the file path. And when you follow this path, you're going to get where my data set is stored. Okay, that is step number 2. You load in the data set. Then step number 3, you now go to the bit where you're trying to explore your data. You want to familiarize yourself with the data. The first thing is, or the first step is to get some information about the data. And for you to get that information, we usually have this function, the .info function. So the .info function, when you run that code, it's going to show you how your data looks like in terms of how many entries do you have, yeah, and how many columns do you have. Do you have any missing value? Of course, with this, you'll be able to tell the column that has a missing value because, for example, in this case, our data set has 7,043 entries. Yeah. And then we now go to the details of, we have the first column is customer ID, and it has how many entries? 7,043. So if you're able to follow through this information, then you'll be able to tell when you have a missing value. Okay, so that is the .info. Then the .shape method or the .shape function helps you know the size of your data set. How many rows do we have? How many columns do we have? Yeah, so we have 7,043 rows and 21 columns. Then after that, you now go and do some, summary statistics. This is just basic statistics. Yeah, it might not make sense at this particular point, especially when you have a lot of columns. But when you're dealing with data that has a lot of numerical or a number of numerical columns, then you can just be able to get a glimpse of what your data entails. So usually use the .describe method, and with that, you'll be able to get some, summary statistics, the mean, median, mode, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Then now you go ahead and look if you have any missing values. So we have the .isna method, yeah, still found in pandas. You want to check for duplicates, the same process. We have .duplicated method and .sum. So this one is going to show you how many duplicates do you have in your data. Yeah, then if you have any duplicates, you can now, of course, we said the solution to duplicates is deleting the duplicates. Okay, then you go ahead and check if you have any inconsistencies as you even proceed to now visualizing your data. Yeah, so visualizing your data. Of course, remember we talked about how you choose visualization. Yeah. Then after that, you now proceed to the now building the model, evaluating the model, and maybe once you're satisfied with the results, you go ahead and deploy that model. So that is Python. Yeah. Now, I hope that is clear up to, I mean, we are somewhere up to that point. And in case you have a query, we're going to answer that maybe once we are done with our session. Now, we're also going to look at SQL. And under SQL, we're just going to look at its importance and maybe look at the different IDEs that are used for SQL, because we might not be able to get into it. So SQL in full, there are those that call it SQL, there are those that call it SQL. So SQL is structured query language. And this language, it is used to retrieve, filter, and summarize data stored in databases. Yeah, data stored in databases. So think of SQL as the equivalent of asking a database a question. So in short, assume that you have a store somewhere. Those that are in maybe procurement, you have a store somewhere. Yeah. But for you to access this store, first of all, we have specific people who can access that particular store. That is the first thing. Number two, you know how maybe whatever you have in that store, how it has been arranged. Yeah. And how, I mean, the process to you getting something from the store, there is a process to it. So that is the same concept when it comes to databases. So a database is a storage of data. But for you to access that data, first of all, we need a specific person to access that data. And that is where you're going to find that in most of the databases, you have to have some logins. You just don't access that data. Yeah, you have to maybe you have to have some password and so on and so forth. Yeah. Number two, you see the way for procurement officers, they have a system that they usually follow just to know what do we have, what did we release last time, what is our current stock, and so on and so forth. The same thing with databases. So with a database, you're able to retrieve, filter, and summarize data stored in that particular database. But for you to be able to do that, you usually use structured query language. And this structured query language, it usually contains the functions that are going to help you retrieve that data, filter that data, or even summarize that data. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now, why is SQL important in data analytics? It is important because it helps analysts, and not only analysts, anyone who is supposed to access that data, they are able to get specific data from huge tables. So you can imagine you have a lot of data, but now how do you access that data? Maybe the particular data that you need, you can only access that data using SQL. Number two, if you want to combine tables, so someone would be wondering where are tables coming from when you're dealing with databases. It's important for you to know that in databases, data is stored in tables. Okay, so you have table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. So if you want to merge those tables or combine those tables, you can only do that using SQL. If you want to filter and clean data before analysis, you can do that with SQL. If you want to summarize your data quickly, and if you also want to prepare data sets to export into Excel, Python, or Power BI, So in short, if you want to integrate databases and maybe a Python, maybe with a Python script, you can do it via SQL. So SQL is fast, direct, and works on millions of rows without slowing down. Yeah. Now, we have the SQL IDEs. Again, these are the platforms where you can write your SQL codes. And we have quite a number. We have DB browser for SQLite. This one is used, or it's recommended for beginners. Kindly mute. Thank you. So let us continue with our mkutano. And now, DB browser for SQLite. This one is recommended for beginners. It is free. That is to mean it's an open source. It is free and very lightweight. It works offline. It is great for practicing basic SQL, and it is good for small data sets. Okay. We also have MySQL Workbench. Yeah. This one is used with MySQL databases. It is more advanced and it's a professional tool, so it can be used in an organization. It is used in many companies and it supports large databases and multiple connections. Then we have Postgres SQL plus pgadmin. This one is enterprise level database environment. It is very common in analytics teams and it supports complex data types and bigger workloads. Then you have SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. Maybe that is something that you've come across, SSMS. This one is for Microsoft SQL Server. It is very common in financial institutions and corporate environments, and it is good for structured business data. Then we have Google Colab plus SQLite. So Google Colab is a Python IDE, but you can also use it to access a database. What you do, remember we talked about libraries in Python and we talked about SQL Alchemy. Yeah, so with SQL Alchemy, you can access a database while working on Google Colab or while working on Jupyter Notebook. You just need to apply that particular, you just need to call in that particular library. Okay, so this one, no installation needed. Everyone can follow along and you can run Python and SQL in the same notebook. And where is it applied? It is applied in cases where you have a Python project, a data science project, but your data is stored in a database somewhere. So you want to access your database while working on Python. You want to retrieve some data from a database while working on Python. So that is where we have the Python SQL integration. I hope that is clear. Yeah. So we talked about the different fundamentals of Python. So we also have some fundamentals when it comes to SQL. In SQL, or when you're dealing with databases, we have mentioned that data is stored in tables in databases. Okay, so a data set stored in rows and columns, that is what we call a table. A row is a single record. A column represents a field or attribute. Then a query is a command you give the database to retrieve specific information. Okay, you see the way in Python we are writing codes. In SQL, those codes are usually called queries. a command, you give the database to retrieve specific information. Then we have a database is a collection of tables that store company data. These are some of the things that you need to have at the back of your mind when you're dealing with SQL. So which are the most important SQL commands? The most important ones, we have create. This one is used to create new database objects. You could be creating, first of all, maybe if it's a new database that you're creating, you usually use the create database, then you give it a name. Then once you do that, so that is the first bit. Then if you want to create a table in that particular database, what you do, create table. So this is a function. This is a query. Create table by the name table underscore name. Then into, now this is where you give it the details. What should that table have? It should have column number 1 with this data type. I don't know if you can recall yesterday when we were talking about data validation, when you have, when you're specific with the kind of data that you want to have in a particular column. So in SQL, we have data validation. We have those restrictions. Like you have column 1, say column 1 should only allow a particular data type. Column 2, that is the name of that column, and you specify that particular data type. Column 3, the same thing, the name and the data type that should be on that particular column. Then you close, and in SQL, usually you have to close using a semicolon. Okay. Usually, let me just use, layman language. When you're ending an SQL code or query, you have to have a what? A semicolon at the end. A semicolon at the end. So that is create. We have select. So select, this is where you pick columns. You're selecting, you're filtering. So what you do, you use select, then now you give us the specific, what are you selecting? If you're selecting a region, if you're selecting a product, if you're selecting total amount. So these are the columns, the specific columns. And where are you selecting it from? You're selecting these ones from, so select comes with from, or rather select is combined with from, because you have to be specific that we are selecting these particulars from a certain table. So this is the name of our table. Okay. Then we have where. This one it's usually used when you're filtering rows. Yeah, so we have a condition. So you select, this asterisk here means that you want to select all the columns. You're selecting all columns from the sales table where we have a condition. Total amount. So that is to mean total amount is a column in that table is greater than 50,000. So what are we going to get in return? We are going to get all columns, or rather all rows having all columns, but then under the total column, it should the total amount column, it should only give you rows that that meet this condition. Okay, in short, where is used for filtering. I hope we are together. Yeah, then we have order by. Order by is used to sort data in a particular order. So order by, maybe if you want to, you want to sort your data in a descending order, we usually have descending, DESC for descending, and if it's ascending order, it's ASC. Then we have group by. This is where you summarize data, and maybe you want to group it by a certain categorical, column. So we use the group by function. Then we have count. It's select count, so it's going to give you the number of rows in that particular table. Okay. Now, what are the data types in SQL? We've talked about the different data types in Python. We also have data types in SQL. We have integers. These ones are whole numbers. We have floats or real numbers. These ones are decimal numbers. We have text. This is any text or letters. Then we have dates. That is date type of data. We have Boolean, where we have either true or false, and it is used to, when you're flagging yes or no. Yeah. Those are the different types of data in SQL. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, in SQL, if you do not have an SQL IDE, you can do it via Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook. But for you to be able to do it via Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab, you have to use the SQL Alchemy, library in Python. Yeah, I hope that is clear. Yeah, so how do you set up that? Of course, you go to a new notebook in Colab. Then you load in your data. You first load in your data because you're assuming that you're loading in a database on Google Colab. So you first load in your data, then you go ahead and do what? Call in the SQLite 3 library. Why are we calling this, or why are we importing this library? Because our IDE is Python, but then we want to apply some, SQL queries while working on Python. So that is why we usually use the SQLite 3 library. Okay. So that is how you go about integrating SQL and Python. Yeah. So I wanted to show you. I have my SQL workbench here. I have this SQL workbench and how it looks like. I'm just going to show you that, then we proceed to now Power BI. So this is the MySQL workbench. So with this, it shows this is the user interface. I'm just going to select that. Yeah. So remember I said, so we have a number of databases here. So I have quite a number of databases here. Yeah. So this is how it usually looks like. Data is stored in tables. So we have a number of databases. So I have this one, class 1. That is the first database. Sorry. Then now it gives me, when I select that database, it gives me the option of accessing the tables now. So when you select that, it should show you.
But you are not going down with this.
Kindly mute if you're not muted. Thank you. So we have, if you have tables, then you can access them. You just select, then it's going to show you the tables that you have. Yeah. So I have another database by the name electronics. And under electronics, when you select tables, it shows you the tables that you have. So there's the order table and the persons table. Yeah. So under orders, we have the columns, the indexes, the foreign keys, and the triggers. So where you write your, this is where you write your, your queries. Yeah, so if you want to select all from now the table itself, then it's going to give you the details of that particular table. And where are the details? They are going to, so you're going to see the output down here. First of all, it's going to show you whether the code went through or the query went through. If it has an error, it's going to be indicated down here. So this is how it usually looks like. This is just an example of an SQL IDE. And this one in particular, it's known as MySQL Workbench. Okay. Now, because of time, allow me to go to Power BI, show you how it looks like and how, the main, or rather the basics of Power BI. Then I'm going to share the materials with detailed information. Yeah, but I hope you're able to follow through. Enoch, I can see that you have a question.
Yes, I wanted to ask, what about using dbeaver for SQL?
DB SQLite. Sorry?
Yeah.
dbeaver.
Yeah.
Oh, dbeaver is also it's a SQL IDE. Yeah, it's just like the other MySQL, the Workbench. It's just that it's an example, but we have now the commonly used the ones that I mentioned, they are the most commonly used, but there are those people that also use the dbeaver. Yeah, dbeaver is more or less like MySQL Workbench, just that for dbeaver, you're usually given some logins. You just don't get into, you cannot just access a dbeaver database. You have to have logins. Yeah, but it's an example of an SQL IDE. Yeah. Now, I want us to go to Power BI. And under Power BI, I want us to just go through a few things, the most basic aspects of Power BI. And why it is important to use Power BI. Power BI is a business intelligence tool. And what is business intelligence? Business intelligence refers to technologies and tools used to collect, analyze, and present data to support decision making. And Power BI, which is a Microsoft tool, by the way, or it's a Microsoft product, it converts data from different sources into interactive dashboards and reports. And these ones empower end users to build their own reports without relying on IT staff. You don't have to keep on, calling, IT people to come and help you with, reports and all those things. With Power BI, because it can be automated, you can be able to build those dashboards and those reports. So with Power BI, first of all, by the way, please do not forget this. Power BI is a data visualization tool. Okay? That is to mean it focuses more on relaying information using visualizations. So you relay information using visualizations. You get your data, transform that data, or clean up that data After you've cleaned up that data, what do? You visualize. Unlike Python, where you're building models and all those things, for Power BI, the end goal is creating visualizations from which you can get some insights. Okay? So Power BI visualizations. So you collect data. We have different data sources. Once you collect once you collect the data, you transform that data, you clean up the data. Where do you clean it up from? The Power Query editor. Then you go to the report view where you visualize your cleaned data. Then after that, you can now create a report and even a dashboard. Once you've created that dashboard, you can now go ahead and do what? Share it with maybe your colleagues or something. Okay, so that is Power BI. This is its structure. It has data sources. So first of all, of course, you have to load in your data. So we have different data sources. You could be having, Excel files in your computer. You could be having databases if you're dealing with a database. If you're dealing with, there's a way you can, if you're dealing with Python datasets, the inbuilt Python datasets, you just need to write down a Python code, then you'll be able to access that data. Once you do that, you have to extract. So you extract your data from the different data sources, then you transform that data. Okay? You transform, you clean up your data, then you load it in. After you've loaded your data in Power BI, then you go ahead and do what? You visualize your data. After you visualized, what do? You create those reports and dashboards, then you can present them to the business users. So this is the Power BI architecture. Yeah. Prepare your data, perform something that we call ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading of data. So you're loading cleaned up data. After that, you visualize, then you present that information to your stakeholders. Okay, so we have different Power BI tools, and we have Power BI Desktop. This one is free of charge. Yeah, the one that I was telling you guys to download, to install. So this one, you don't need to operate on it while online, but then it has its limitation. That is to mean because you're operating on it while offline, then you'll not be able to share that information with other people or other users. Okay, then we have Power BI service. This one is cloud-based and it is used for sharing and collaboration. And this one you usually pay for it monthly, or of course you can do an annual subscription. Then we have Data Gateway. This one is the bridge between Power BI service and online or on-premises data sources. Okay, so this is a connection between your data sources and your Power BI service. Then you have the report server. This one hosts paginated reports, KPIs, and desktop reports, and it is managed by the IT people. So that is to mean for you to be able to get into now the report server, this is where you might need to befriend your IT colleagues or the IT administrators. Then you have mobile apps. This one is available for Android, iOS, Windows via Microsoft Intune. That is to mean you can have Power BI on your phone. Yeah, you can have it on your phone. Now, what are the components of Power BI? You see the way we had ribbons in a ribbon?
Hi, Wangari.
Yes.
I can see time has really run. Are we about to finish so that we maybe answer a few questions and we call it a day?
Yes, we can do that. So I just want to go through the Power BI components. Then I show them, how Power BI looks like. Then I think we can call it a session.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. So we have Power BI components, and I was saying, you see the way in Excel we have a ribbon that has data, that has insert, that has all those things. So in Power BI we have such an interface, yeah, where we have Power Query. So this is where you're able to search, access, and transform data sources. So this Power Query editor, that is where you do the transformation of your data. Then we have the Power Pivot. This one is an in-memory data modeling and analytics. Then you have Power Map, in case you want to do some, say, geographical visualizations. We have that provision. Then you have the Power BI question and answer. So especially when you're on a Power BI service that is online, that is cloud-based, and you need to maybe ask some questions around Power BI, maybe about a certain feature, you can do that and you're going to get instant answers. Yeah. So those are the Power BI components. Then you have the building blocks. So this is to mean without these aspects, there is no Power BI. First of all, you need to have data sets because you need to load in your data. Number two, remember I said in Power BI, we're talking about visualizations. So you have to have some visualizations, graphical insights. Then once you get those visualizations, you combine them and make them to look like a report. After you've generated a report. From a report, you get a dashboard. Okay, and a dashboard contains, a dashboard contains the KPIs, the key performance indicators, or it contains visualizations that display the key performance indicators. Then you also have tiles. So these tiles are where your visualizations are placed. They are the placeholders of visualizations on a dashboard. So these are the Power BI building blocks. Now, I just want to show you how Power BI looks like. So I have Power BI desktop here. How to install that? You go to Microsoft, select Power BI desktop, then it's something that you can do it by yourself. So you select Power BI desktop, then you go ahead with the process. You follow the instructions there. So this is the Power BI desktop, how it looks like. We have a blank report and we have different data sources. So I'm just going to select a blank report. Then it's going to take us to the user interface, how it looks like. So it looks like this. Yeah. So we have a file, and a file, you can open an existing Power BI document. If you want to save, how do you want it to be saved? If you want to share, so the get data, this is where you access the different data sources. If you want to import contents from an existing file, if you want to export contents to a new file, yeah, we have that option as well. And those cases that those that are dealing with Power BI service, you can publish your report. Okay, that is under file. Then under home, now we have now this is the home page, how it looks like. If you want to import data, get data, yeah, so what you do, you select that, import data, and then it's going to take you to, of course, where your data is, then select your data. But then if you want to now get data from a particular source, not necessarily from your machine, yeah, if it's an Excel workbook, you select that, then it's going to take you where you have maybe the folder that has those Excel worksheets. Yeah. Power BI semantic models. These are inbuilt data sets. Data flows. This one is a database. The same thing with Dataverse, SQL server. If you want to access a particular SQL server, you select that, then you can now give it the logins. Access to your data. Okay, so those are the different data sources. Once you select your data, so this one is the report view. This is where once you've selected your data, let me just select some data here just to make it easier for us. So when you select that, you can now go ahead and if you have a number of worksheets, you just select the worksheets that you want to work with, then go to transform data. You do not go to loading data before transforming your data. And when you select that, it takes you to the Power Query editor. So this is where you transform your data from. And we have different functions of cleaning your data. How do you want your data to be cleaned, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So that is the Power Query editor. Let me do this. Just show you something that have already been done. So we have something like this. So this is a report. And this report has quite a number of things. So the data that we have here is restaurant data. For you to be able to see that data, or rather view that data, you view it from the table view. So we have the restaurant ID. We have quite a number of columns: restaurant name, cuisine, city, rating, price range, price category, rating per category. Yeah, so that is our data, and it has already been cleaned. Then under report view, this is where you build your visualizations. Yeah, so we have a donut chart here, and this donut chart, when you select that, it's going to show you the specific data fields that helped in creating this donut chart. We have a bar chart there. We have a table, and of course we have I'm forgetting the name of this. But then with this, you're able to slice. This is a slicer because you select a certain cuisine, then it's going to show you the details of that particular cuisine. So this is a report. And a report usually has a number of, you can have a number of pages. But when it comes to dashboard, remember I said dashboard contain the key performance indicators, specific key performance indicators. So you can only have one page when you're dealing with a dashboard. Okay. Then we also have a model view. So model view, this is where you have different tables and you want to merge those tables or show the relationship between those different tables. Especially when you have a number of worksheets in Excel, an Excel file. So you want to show the relationship between those worksheets. We have the model view. Yeah. Then we have the DAX query view. This is where if you want to perform any data analytics calculation, this is where you write down those queries, or you write down the formulas. So we have the DAX formulas. There are those that are inbuilt, and there are those that you can decide to write them down. Okay, so that is basically how Power BI looks like. And of course, if you want to share, you have to be, first of all, for you to be able to create a dashboard, you can create a report. This is a report on desktop. But for you to be able to create a dashboard, then you have to be logged in Power BI service. Yeah, then you can share with your colleagues. That is just an overview of how Power BI looks like and how it can be used for business intelligence. So I'm going to share the materials because they are a bit detailed, and I believe they are easy to understand, so you'll be able to follow through. Yeah. So that is it from my side. Levix, I think I am done.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Wangari. Asante sana. Can we please appreciate Wangari for the detailed take through? There's so much to cover, but there's so little time. I believe it's interesting. Somebody has his hand raised. Ismail, maybe we'll just take a few minutes, a few questions, and then we can call it a day. Ismail, you had a question. I can see a lot of hands up, and also the chat box is also filled up with the information and questions. Ismail, go quick. Ismail, you raise your hand. Enoch, if you're ready, you can ask quickly if you have a question.
Okay, I think I can go first. Let me ask Wangari about Power BI under the model view. What do you have to say about the model view? Like, what is it used for? I don't understand the other part, but for the model view, it's a bit, I don't understand how it goes.
All right, maybe another question, then Wangari can respond to them all at once. Who is there? Ismail, you keep raising your hand, but you're not speaking. There's somebody, ML. I'm trying to see which name is that. Moses Paul, you can go next. James Ndabo or Stephen Omondi. You've raised your hands, and either of you can go quickly.
Yes. So this is James. I wanted to know, can we get that documentation that she's using for the class, because it's a little bit informative and we might need that information maybe like for self-study.
Yes, we will share that. So just to ensure you are part of the channels so that you get access to those materials. We will share all that material, including the recordings.
Thank you.
Can I ask my question?
And I've just dropped the link on the chat, plus also the registration form is there, so you can be able to follow and ensure you are existing on the platform where we will share those materials. Somebody was speaking. Go next.
I have two questions.
Yes.
It's in regard with Python. When he was doing the introduction in Python, he said you have to import the libraries. And when importing the libraries, first I want to know, is it okay if you import the libraries separately, as and when you need them? Okay, and then secondly, when you're importing the library, you have to give it an AKA name. Is it restricted to, like, for example, when you're importing the pandas library, you import it as pandas as PD. Can you use any other name apart from PD or any other initial, so long as when you want to use it, you remember the AKA name that you use? Those are the two questions that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Wangari. I hope you're noting them down. Somebody else so that she answers them all at once. You can see SO. There are a lot of hands up, but we may not answer all of them. Stephen, go next quickly. Stephen, you had raised your hand, and Ismaili,
If not,
I've already asked
oh, that was
question.
Stephen. Okay.
And this is
All right, thank you. All right, Wangari, you can move in and respond to them.
Okay, so Ismail asked about model view and what it entails. So a model view is usually used when you have a number of tables or a number of data sets that you're working with. Yeah, assuming that you had a number of worksheets on your Excel file, and you want to show the relationship between the tables. And how do you show relationship between the tables? That is to mean if there is a relationship between table 1 and table 2, then that is to mean in those worksheets or in those tables, there is something that is common. Most likely there's a common column in both of the worksheets. Yeah. And it simply shows the relationship between table 1 and table 2. And we have a number of the types of relationships in Power BI. It's I have it's in the materials that I'm going to share, so you can try and follow through. But then a model view, as I was saying, it is used to show relationship between different tables in your data. I hope that is clear. You're trying to show a relationship between different tables. Now, the second question by Stephen, he was asking about the Python libraries. Well, you do not have to, you don't have to import all the libraries at once. You can import them as you continue. It's just that when you're doing a data science project, and most times you're kinda sure or you already know what you're supposed to do and the libraries that you're going to use.
Okay,
But then in case along the way you need to add another library, you can go ahead and do it. Yeah, you can go ahead and import the library as you continue. Do you need to have, are you restricted to, use a particular AKA? No, you're not. As long as you remember the AKA that you gave your library. But then we usually have the most commonly used and commonly preferred and recommended AKAs. Yeah, like the PD for pandas. For NumPy, it's NP. For Seaborn, it's SNS. For matplotlib.pyplot, it's PLT. So they are those the commonly used alias names. They're there. But then you can decide to work with yours as long as you remember your AKA. Yes, that's it. I hope I have answered those questions. Levix, are you there?
Thank you very much, Wangari, for the feedback.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks, Wangari, for that addition. I believe there are a lot of questions in the chat box, but we may not have the time to. We're already 7 minutes past time, so we may not have the time to respond to each one of them. Data science, data analytics is very broad, and there's a lot that we can cover in terms of training you guys. So if there are more questions, if you want to join the longer program so that you have your questions even answered in deeper ways in a practical environment, you're able to reach out to us or to ICTA. We can be able to assist you. So yeah, I think that should be it. So as I said, we have those longer programs. If you want to get into these subjects, data analytics, you want to get into data science, you want to get into cybersecurity and ethical hacking, we have full programs for those. Maybe I can just share, let me just share quickly if I can see the website is probably around, yeah. So we have those full
Excuse
programs
me.
that you can take. Yeah, go quickly.
Oh, I just wanted to ask for those longer whatever courses like data science for 6 months at a cost of 40, do you usually have discounts?
Yeah, we do have discounts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we do have discounts at various times. They vary on the time that you come up. But right now we have like a 10% discount, which is currently running. So you may run and take advantage of that.
For data science?
Yes, for data science.
Ah, nice. Okay, I will check out. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you can take that and sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to share if you can see my screen. So there's that, and of course, these are the courses we are talking about. This is our website. You can create time, everyone, to go through it. You see what we do. So these are the courses: AI, data science and analytics, the data engineering, the cybersecurity. Then there is a kids program here for coding and cybersecurity and AI. That is for kids. And then, of course, these are our enterprise solutions, ranging from cybersecurity to infrastructure to corporate training and the rest of the things. So I believe we've covered quite a lot, but we don't have enough time that can allow us to, cover everything. So I've shared our details in the chat box. You can be able to reach out. If you need to ask Wangari any questions around the things she has covered, I've shared our contacts. You can reach out at your own time. If you want to enroll for the longer programs, you're free to do so. If you want to make use of the running discounts at the moment, you're also free to do so and enroll for the programs. There are those that are already running now. We also have intakes that are coming up, which are already open. So there's trainings will be starting up in a few weeks. I don't know if there's any burning question that somebody
Okay, I
needs
have
us
a
to
question.
answer.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so for your certificates, are they credited? As in, they are accepted anywhere, I can use it anywhere?
Yeah, definitely. They are accredited and they're accepted. We are cooperating here with the ICT authority, which is an arm of the government. So that tells you that we are definitely accredited.
Okay, but not really. Because you know what happens. Okay, it's it's okay. Thanks.
Yeah, any other question? If that was Irene or Jen, you can be able to reach out. We can be able to answer your questions even better if you need any specific accreditation.
Yeah, okay, I will reach out.
That's fine. Any other questions before we close? And I don't know if John is still around. You'll be able to speak for a minute. Any other question or anything to add?
Okay, from yesterday's sessions, from your scheduler. Hello,
Sorry,
am I
come
audible? From the schedule,
No, how many people are speaking? Let's just hear one person. That was Amos, huh? Continue.
I'm asking whether the session have ended because from the schedule, it was scheduled from 11 to 12, data analytics. I don't know if we still have got any other training session pertaining data analytics.
Yeah. For this particular one, this one is coming to an end already at this hour. So this one has run for the last 3 days, from 10th to 11 through to 11 to today 12th. So this one is done.
Yes.
You will get the material and the examination and all that. But after that, we'll definitely have more. So that's why we have shared our profiles, our LinkedIn profile on the chat so that you're able to get updated. Because we normally have these things from time to time. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. So we have this from time to time. I've shared our page on the chat box. You can be able to follow. You could also follow ICT Authority. They are also on the social media platforms so that you know what is coming up. But in terms of Data Grid Africa and our other partners, even apart from ICT Authority, we will always share information using our official channels, which is our social media platforms, our WhatsApp channels, or our website. So I've shared that. As I said earlier, next week we are having a training on data, or rather on cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Is it next week? I think it's no, it's the other week. Let me just check the date again. No, it's supposed to be next week. So next week we have a training on cybersecurity and ethical hacking for those who are interested in that line. So that is also free. We will not be charging you. I've shared the contacts on the chat box. You can be able to keep yourself updated. Keep letting. If you have a question, keep letting.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
I'm good. My question I'd like to really ask is, do you guys offer maybe like advanced courses for the same? Because I do believe whatever you've shared here is maybe I'd like to delve and get into data science. So my question is like, do you have the advanced course of the same?
Okay. So sorry, keep letting. I think my network today is not so good. Come again, please.
Like my question was,
Yes.
do you guys offer advanced course for the same? And
Yeah,
where are you
exactly.
like located? If I'm in need of a physical class.
All right, thank you very much. So we are on China Center, Kilimani. That's physically where we are.
Okay.
So we have our hybrid classes, of course, online plus those physical. And in terms of the course tiers, we have beginner friendly and advanced levels. So those who are they've already done the basics, they're at the intermediate level.
Okay.
So yeah, so I hope that's clear. We have both beginner friendly and advanced programs. If you've already studied these things and you want to just advance your skills, we have programs that can suit you very well. And if you're just starting off, you are not in tech, you are in another field, you're in healthcare, education, you're in NGO, you're in agriculture, you're in government education, and so on, you can sign up. You're in finance, you can sign up for the beginner friendly ones.
I need the advanced one.
Yes, advanced one is available. Just reach out to me or to our team on the contacts we've shared. Let me just type it in again on the chats. But if somebody has a question, go next quickly. I think we are already running past time.
Oh, good evening. My question is, for the people who did not sign up for the attendance sheet on the first day, it was on Wednesday. Now, will they be able to get the certificates? Because we were informed that it is through the sheets after the 3 days signing is when someone will be eligible to get the certificates. Now, someone, for example, me, I was signed for 2 days, yesterday and today. Now, can that interfere with me being certified?
It depends on the reason why you are not able to sign up. If you didn't attend day one, I think you may not be certified, but I think once you take the exam and you probably do it well, it's okay because you can make use of the recordings and the materials we'll share. Still, that is valid. But we'll encourage that next time you attend all the trainings because there's a way in which they've been structured. Yes, so I think you'll still be able to do the exam and you'll still be able to get certified. The gentleman that asked the question, I didn't see the name.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes.
When is the exam?
The exam will be shared to you within 7 days. So 7 days from now or thereabout, you'll get it on your email and you'll be able to, do it at your own pace. I think they'll be able to provide a timeline for it as well. That will be shared through ICTA authority. Sorry?
So for me, okay, I have a similar situation. I missed on the first day, but yesterday I attended. But when I tried to log in and check, do the online attendance, it had already timed out. But today I managed to sign in. So I don't know, like, would those 2 days count, even though yesterday I didn't sign in?
Yeah, I think they will count. I think we also close the form because people will be signing up continuously even when they're not attending. So that's why we have to ensure that it is authentic and not just everyone signing. Yes, somebody else. There are so many hands up, but I don't know if we have time for everyone. Evelyn, Jerry, go next quickly.
Hi, please confirm I'm audible.
You're audible. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. My question is, so for some of us, we are not tech-based and we are not tech people, and you mentioned that there'll be an exam. So if you test us on the same items for some of us, because some of us, we were very invested in something like Excel, but if you test us on something like Python, hapo utakuwa umetutupa nje. So how are you going to, because not everyone is in tech, how are you going to examine us,
Okay.
considering everyone is in different fields?
Yeah, the assessment will be based on what we have covered for the last 3 days. So there's nothing outside of it. If there is anything outside, then it is just a reflection that you can probably do research. Tech is about research, but it cannot be so much outside of what we have covered. So everybody is taken care of, provided you attended the sessions and you make good use of the recordings and the materials which we should provide. You should not be in a bad space. And if you can do Excel, then I'm sure you can also do the rest of the things adequately. Evelyn, that answers you well. Sorry.
Yes, yes. So will the recordings be shared before the assessment?
Yeah, recordings will be shared, I think, probably even tomorrow, before the assessment, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I believe that should be the last question, unless there is any other. So yeah, I think I'd shared a lot about the programs. And so we can be able to, if you need to get enrolled for these programs, definitely you can sign up. You also check at ICTA. They normally have programs, some of them which are not paid. And you check on the website, their socials as well. You can also check on ours and our partners as well. Yeah, so, and also for those who are in various organizations here and there, we also have an enterprise technology division which offers solutions to entities. So you can always also reach out for cybersecurity solutions and infra solutions. That one I'll not get much into it now because of time. These are some of our partners in terms of those solutions. If you can still see my screen. Is my screen visible on your end?
Yes.
Yeah. So, thank you. So these are some of our partners in that side. The likes of Cisco, Cyber, Huawei, SolarWinds, Beyond Trust, Palo Alto, HPE, Microsoft, and the likes. Those are some of our partners in terms of enterprise technology. So you can always reach out. And the other advantage you get by learning with us is that we have a 360 environment where we not only train, but we also offer solutions in the market. So we know exactly what is needed in the market. If you're learning, let's say, data analytics, we know, because we offer data analytics solutions, we know what matters in the market. If you're learning cybersecurity and ethical hacking, we have a cybersecurity and enterprise technology unit, and therefore our curriculum is designed to reflect the actual market. If it is artificial intelligence, a lot of our tools are artificial intelligent tools, and therefore we know exactly what AI is about, especially in terms of the corporate market and even at the end user bit for individuals. If it is about all those programs, if it is data engineering and the likes, we have the visibility of the market, and so that is how we actually develop our curriculums. Their curricula are not just things we come up with. They are basically, concepts that are in the market. That's why even you see the kind of training we've done with the Wangari, it's very relevant to what some of you do even in your various organizations. You have databases, and by the way, you have databases in your places of work, or those who are students, you have databases there, you have
data from here on their departments, you can go and request for them if they can give you, explore. And of course, you can access various sites, including GitHub. You can access Kaggle, get data sets there. You can get data sets also from entities like, I think, UN, they normally publish. KNBS, that is the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. I think sometimes they also publish. These entities, they're all over. So you can be able to get data sets to practice. And of course, you can always reach out to us if you need any form of assistance, if you need consultancy or to be assisted in any way. We can always help you with those. John, I don't know if John is around. If you're around, you could speak a bit. If not, we close. Is John there? Victor. Yes, so that's okay. I think we've shared a lot. We appreciate you guys for being here for the last 3 days. I know it's been also very intense, especially for those that are not necessarily in technology. But we appreciate you for staying up to this time. Tech is about practice, so you can always practice. Take your time, go through the recordings, get the materials. If you need more help, reach out to us. We're able to help you. Yeah, and I think we've also shared our details on the chat box. You can reach out to us anytime. Ensure also, without forgetting, you fill up that attendance form, which I believe will be closing in the next maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So ensure you have it filled or signed up with the correct name. The name that you signed up there with is what will appear on your certificate upon successful completion of the assessment.
Asante sana.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So I've shared the contact again on the chat box. Anybody with a question before we let them out? We close.
Thank you. We appreciate.
Right, karibu sana. Hassan, your hand is up. You can go next.
Hello, sir. Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
How will this certificate help us in our job?
Who's speaking?
Hello.
Is that Hassan or Michelle?
I'm asking. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Proceed.
Okay. How can these certificates help us? The importance of having this certificate in our job.
The certificate is not very important. What's important is the skill, and then the certificate just helps to show that you are skilled in 1, 2, 3. So if you get the certificate, it means you are skilled in data analytics. You can showcase to your employers or to whichever people. That's basically what it is. But the skill is what is more important even before the certificate. Certificate is just to showcase. It's like this, to verify that you are skilled and certified in a subject like data analytics. Cecilia Waweru, you can go next. I hope that answers your question. That was Hassan, huh?
Okay, thank you. This is Cecilia.
Yeah.
I appreciate the programs that you're bringing us and the knowledge that you're sharing. But there's this one thing I would like to inquire about.
Yeah.
About the remote jobs, because sometimes it's hard to get through remote jobs. Are you able to help us in that?
Yeah, we are able to help that with that. That is normally actually part of our longer programs. We are able to help you with positioning yourself to be able to get gigs or get jobs. So yeah, that is there. You can be able to reach out. We may not be able to share exactly the whole process right now because of time, but you can reach out. I've shared my contacts or our contacts, the company contacts on the chats. We can help you with that. Let me just share also, if you want my direct line, you can reach out 0792 596600. That's my direct line, Levix2D. while the company line is 0743 279 990. That's company line. So you could
Repeat
call
your
me
number
or
again.
text me. Mine is 0792 5966.
Wait. Just okay. 07 who?
No, 0792. Yes.
Yes.
59
59.
66
Yes.
00.
Thank you. I'll reach out.
All right.
What about Wangari?
Wangari, let me just give you. Wangari had already dropped. She's also attending to another activity.
Okay.
Wangari is 07. The gentleman who asked 0701 917 078.
Thank you.
Karibu. I'm seeing more hands up and time is out. Noel Odur, you want to speak?
Unaweza rudia Wangari?
Wangari is so the guys are just asking for Wangari. I can see the sound 0701. You're hearing?
Yes.
0701. That's Wangari. 917 078.
Anyway, we are grateful for this. Bye.
Okay, so I think we should be closing unless there's anything burning.
Thank
Is
you
Jion
very
around or
much.
the ICTA team? Yeah, I think we should be closing.
Hi,
Yes, I can. Who's speaking? This Chris, this Job.
No, high level is
Can we get John's number?
Sorry, if you're not speaking, kindly mute so that we listen to one person. Who is speaking? Noel. Yeah, Noel. Proceed.
You mentioned about ethical hacking and cyber security.
Let me just mute this guy. Sorry, go ahead.
So just a quick one. I just want to know, and you've mentioned something about the ethical hacking and cybersecurity training. You've mentioned that it's supposed to begin next week. So I just wanted to know maybe the exact date for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll share that. You can reach out to the number or our LinkedIn. We'll definitely post it on our LinkedIn. I'm not sure of the date. It should be next week or the week after next week. I'll just check. The poster should be out tomorrow. So it should be either 19th or 26th, either of those dates. But it will be shared on our platform, on our LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, website, and WhatsApp channel. Samson,
Okay,
you're
thank
speaking.
you.
Yeah, thank you, Noel. Samson, you're asking something? There is also Chris Mwangi.
I was asking, can we maybe get John's number, the ICT?
Levix.
I don't know if I can provide that. I think they will provide if they're on the call. John is from ICTA.
I'm on the call.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, my phone number is on smartacademy.go.ke, but I can just provide it through the email, through the meeting. So it's 0710 521 418. 0710 521 418. If you text me and I do not respond immediately, please be accommodative enough to understand that there are a lot of participants who wish to communicate, but eventually I will always respond, even if it's on email. And my email, you can use the email that sent you the invite to this meeting. which is citizens@icta.go.ke. And also on that email, I have copied myself, which is john.moigai@icta.go.ke. So either way, you can be able to correspond. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John, for providing that. So anybody who needs help, you can reach out to John or the rest of us. I also have quite a number of messages unresponded, but I'll respond to them, if not tonight, then tomorrow. There are quite a lot, but we'll respond to them. We should be winding up. I don't know if there's anything pressing. Cecilia, your hand is up still. Yeah, if not, then I think we should be winding up. Let's say that's it for the 3 days. We appreciate you guys for being around. We also appreciate ICTA for partnering with us to offer these trainings. And we are always working around the clock to ensure that we assist communities, assist companies, assist individuals to be able to get skilled in these particular areas, especially around technology as DataBuild Africa. Yeah, so thank you guys for being around. We appreciate. If you have any queries or anything to ask, reach out to John, reach out to me. I've provided the contacts on the chat, and you can be able to ask whatever it is you want to ask. The time is not enough, especially if you have technical questions. Wangari's number is open. You can always reach out to her. And more importantly, you can sign up to the longer programs so that you have a window to be assisted even better in terms of these courses, whether it is cybersecurity, AI, whether it's data science, whether it's data analytics, data engineering, you are definitely covered. Thank you guys. Enjoy your night. See you next time.
We Ronald, naweza toa video please?